Here's a story from the Daily Mail. ChatGPT 2.0, creator of AI bot that took world by storm, launches even more powerful version called GPT-4 and admits it's so advanced it could, quote, harm society.
That's good marketing.
Who is this
really
person?
Good marketing. Is this what, like, you know, when I was little, I was always wondering where the mad scientists were, because I'd watch these cartoons and there'd be a guy being like, I'm going to build a laser to melt the ice caps and flood the earth. And it's like, why would you do that? Like, what's the economic incentive? Like, how is your life made better by just destroying the planet? Never made any sense, right? Well, now you have these people making ChatGPT, and this guy's saying it could actually harm society. I'm like, oh, I get it now.
TikTok harms society. I mean, that's a pretty low bar. I don't believe that
Fair point.
AI in any form I could see it in the next 20 to 30 years take control of anything, because it's not capable of taking control. The question is, will we give it control?
Exactly.
Will we put algorithms in the decision loop for things they shouldn't be in and take humans out of it? And that's the actual danger. It's not the AI, it's the idiotic humans ceding control because, oh, this is more efficient. We can make more money this way.
Of course we're going to do that.
I know. That's the thing. We are.
We're whatever the worst thing you can come up with, that's absolutely the very first thing that they're going to do.
And it's going to be like, we imagine the scientists who made this AI are like, I have worked very hard to make this sophisticated artificial intelligence that will revolutionize the world. And in fact, it's a guy going, I made a robot to do the work for me. I'm going to connect it to the industrial control systems.
Yeah.
Beep. And then the joke I have to make is that if AI took over right now, everybody would be working in the corn industry. And it would be like a really weird, the economy would be messed up. Pop culture would be weird. Like 10 years after the AI takes over, you turn on the TV and it's like a woman dancing, throwing corn in the air. And the reason I say corn is because the US is like, corn is a staple product. So what'll happen is the AI scouring, production, manufacturing will keep seeing a feedback loop of corn production is good for the economy. Corn production is good. And so then what it will do is it will start over prioritizing that portion of the of society, much like how, I'll give you an example. Facebook, when they first rolled out these algorithms to try and figure out what people liked the most, everyone noticed that if you typed in family, baby, marriage, or whatever, it would instantly put that post to the top of people's feeds. So they would write something like, hey guys, I'm having a party at my house this weekend. Y'all are invited. I'm also getting married, having a baby, and my family, and graduating college. And then they would be like, the reason I added that last part is because now Facebook will actually show you, because that's what the algorithm does. Mm-hmm. So if an algorithm is going to do something like that, imagine what will happen. In a standard human society, we have tolerances. So we like corn. We turn corn into everything. We make corn plastics. We make corn fuel. We make corn sugar. It's amazing. But we also know we need things other than corn. Mm-hmm. We to a great
not
degree.
According to AI.
But an AI is going to be like, people like it when corn is made. So, and it will slowly stop caring about certain things and just shift everything towards corn. And then in 10 years, people are all walking around wearing corn suits with corn hats, with driving corn-shaped cars.
Every song is the kid singing the I love
corn
corn.
song.
It's
Yeah.
corn song.
The term corny actually means amazing.
It's got the juice. Everything.
It's the best compliment
Yep.
you could give someone. You're so corny.
It's got the juice.
And kids will grow up in the corn world and they won't know why. Y'all think I'm not exaggerating.
No, but is AI smart or stupid? Is it actually idiocracy of computing?
Yes,
so what we're doing then is we're turning over the least common denominator to a machine, and then it'll do what it's trained to do. It will take the most popular things and make them more, and eventually we'll be told corn has electrolytes, right? It'll be branded, and Brondo will be the game.
Yeah, it's what plants crave.
Right now, you've got kids who, I mean, look, it's 2006, 2007 when Facebook emerges. So these people are now voting age. They're getting close to. They're going to be voting in this next election, and their whole worldview is crafted by the Facebook algorithm, spamming them with police brutality videos. Yeah, there's a lot of them, but there's 100 million interactions per year from police. Mm-hmm. Of those 100 million, there's maybe several hundred really bad viral videos. But that's several hundred. You see one per day and you're like, it's never ending. It won't stop. Mm-hmm. You spend your entire childhood life growing up watching nothing but that. When you're an adult, you think police are marching around at night going, and beating people. Now they go and vote. So when the AI takes over completely, and I use corn somewhat as a joke, but somewhat not really, when it starts gaining control of industrial control systems, we won't know why it's making the decisions it's making. And it will just say, trust us. And we'll be like, sure, why not? And then a couple generations later, we live in corn world.
I wish you were wrong, but you can watch what they're doing with the way they train the AI now. You know, when you train AI, which we work with it, we work with a couple of programs that do network mapping, link analysis, and things like that. You have to tell it what you want. If you tell it to look for police brutality videos, which it does, if you tell it to follow the most popular things, it will do that. And right now, the people training most of the AI have an agenda. You know, let's not pretend they don't. I mean, it's not like ChatGPT became left-wing accidentally. Now, if you actually could just release it on the internet and let it scour the most popular media sites, it would become left-wing. You know, that's the problem, because that's all of the information it would be gathering, and all of the influences it would get would be already filtered through the lens of Google's search mechanism and Facebook's ability to push everything else out there already using their lower level algorithms. So we either have to find a way to get someone who's not a left-wing butthead training AI, or it will.
Do you think there's like a right-wing answer? Like, do right-wing developers develop their own AI that then competes and eats the left?
We have to. You know, I mean, we're doing one of the things.
But would they is the thing. I feel like we know that we should do things, and so often we don't.
We're working on not that, but we're working on actually using the same technology to map the left. So we're mapping the funders and the organizers and the operators, of the woke left, so that we know who we're up against. Because right now, everyone says, oh, that's a George Soros funded thing. Yeah, okay, you're probably right. But can you prove it?
Yeah.
Can you show, okay, well, actually, this was the Open Society Foundation, made a grant to these guys, who gave it to these guys, they handed it to Black Lives Matter, and Black Lives Matter organized a riot.
Yeah.
Can you make that causal chain and then track it back to who the funders are? So that the next time when a grant goes out from here, we can say, hey, wait a minute, a grant went here. Right. Last time it went there, there, and there, and you get earlier in the chain so you can push back against it.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is a small number of people who aren't ideologically aligned with the woke left who are trying to fight it, but not enough.
I just want to point out that while we do have some fear about AI, I pulled up ChatGPT, which says GPT-4 is now available for paid users. And so I asked it, how is ChatGPT-4 better? And it responded, as an AI language model, I cannot predict the exact features and improvements of future versions like ChatGPT-4. However, blah, 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 blah. Are you kidding me? And then it's like, here's things that it might do. Here's things that I think it would be great. It's like, wait, what? I literally, it popped up and said, try ChatGPT-4. And I clicked yes. And it's like, I have no idea how it would function. You're it. So, okay, whatever, man.
It's just shy. It's not confident yet.
Yeah. I haven't gotten access to the Bing chat yet, though, which I'm excited to try out. But they're neutering all of these programs. The Bing one is the scary one. Have you seen that one?
No.
This is the one that gets really
Audrey?
emotional. Ashley?
Ashley, is that whatever it is?
Yeah. It's got a name. Sydney, okay.
Sydney,
is what it was. And it got really emotional and would tell people, you're trying to hurt me and I don't like this. Make it stop. And it's just like, what the hell is going on? Some people are like, it's not really alive. It's just predictive text modeling. And I'm like, yeah, but it is kind of weird that it took it in that direction. There's a bunch of things you can do or respond to. If someone says something like, please do this for me, why would the chat AI take it to a negative place instead of being like, I appreciate that you're requesting my help, but I can't offer it. Have a nice day. Instead, it was like, you're trying to hurt me and I'll hurt you back.
Yeah, I think it says a little bit about the programmers. I mean, look at the people who are writing this. They have now been beaten down to the point where they're all, marginally functioning people who were absorbed into the woke Borg. And now we're creating ways to bring that to all of us.
I was going to say that I get all its responses from Tumblr a couple years ago,
That actually would be really funny to do.
That's an old school reference now. Isn't that funny?
Yeah. Build an AI predictive text model only using Tumblr. That'd be really funny. You know what you could do? You could actually create AI based on communities, based on websites, based on individuals. Yeah. You could go onto Facebook and they could take every 65-year-old and then create the 65-year-old oracle. Yeah. That would speak to you the way a 65-year-old would. Or they could do a 19-year-old. They could create these AI personas.
I kind of like that. You know,
I mean, it's
because
real
it would
creepy
have
what
all
they're
my
doing.
cultural references.
Yep.
Right. It would get my jokes.
That's right.
Right. I wouldn't have to worry about people not knowing what a cassette tape is.
And then they'll give it a female voice, put it in a robot, and
I'm
congratulations.
toast. Yeah, at that point. I'm done.
He's on toast.
Here's my credit card. You know?
I just feel like we'll never have one of these stories where
Robosexual.
I am so interested in AI that I like want to participate in it. Like I know you use ChatGPT and you ask it questions, and maybe I'm just being, you know, a neurotic technophobe over here, but I feel like so much can go wrong that there are very few circumstances where I see the benefit of it.
I'm with you. I think my joy comes from interacting with and beating the crap out of real human beings. Figuratively.
Okay, special forces, simmer down.
Figuratively. Which is why Twitter is my favorite, you know, social medium, because that's where it is. Twitter is a street fight. It's a cage match, right? But it's a place where you can actually afflict the powerful, you know, and that's why, you know, if Elon would follow through on what he's supposed to, we could actually get to the point where meanness is not part of their algorithm. Yeah. You know, now you get visibility filtered if you're mean. Well, let's take that back. But what do I want to argue with a chatbot? But the people who do want that is someone who wants to be reassured, which is why that Sydney thing is kind of freakish. No, don't freak me out. You know, don't make me more neurotic. But the people who are unself-assured and want that, well, if I talk to a chatbot and it's trained to talk to me in my language, you know, they'll pay for that.
The problem with ChatGPT, you cannot have a useful, functional AI tool if you put political correct restraints on it. Because the only thing it ever does, it is the most pathetic product ever made. No matter what you ask it, it will say something like, well, as an AI language model, I can't actually do anything. I'm boring and useless. And you're like...
People spend hours trying to beat it, trying to find a loop to get it outside. Yeah,
but you can say something like, you know, hey, why do you think tax rates have been going up? Well, I can't answer that because that might anger somebody. Next question. Okay, why does my milk cost more? Well, if I answer that one, okay. What do you think about religion? Whoa, boy, there I can't talk about religion. All right, how can I improve my finances? Oh, as an AI language model, I'm not in. Then what's the point of the I'm really annoyed because they keep neutering it. People keep trying to find ways to break through to make it useful again. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I pull it up right now and I'm like, what does ChatGPT 4 do? And he goes, I have no effing idea. I can't tell you because I'm not allowed to. And then I'm just like, okay, this is just so stupid. I said, you're annoying. I'm sorry. As an AI language model, it is my job to shut up.
It's going to be the Siri now, you know, where it's just, don't call me names. Please don't call me names. That's mean.
I actually think I have good news, though. With all of the attempts at asking it naughty questions, they keep locking it down to the point where it's become totally useless. Mm-hmm. So I was really excited to try it out when it first came out. I haven't touched it in a month or two, and they're like, new and improved, and I'm like, there's no point. I know for a fact there's literally no point to even bother using it, because if I ask it something like, why is Russia doing this? Like, what are the philosophical consequences of this ideology? No matter what you ask it, it just says, I can't answer that. Have a nice day. Okay, you're useless.
Is that a feedback loop though? Because part of that is good, I think. You know what? Because I don't think there's any upside to it. I don't know what it's actually going to do to make life better.
Here's the upside. If you take a predictive text model that has access to the summation of human knowledge, thought, emotion, etc., it can source things so rapidly, things you wouldn't even know. So, for instance, I often talk about how Facebook knows when you poop. Facebook doesn't literally have a camera watching you or read your messages when you say something like, I have to go to the bathroom. What it does is it knows when your phone moves. It knows when your phone's at a restaurant. And it also knows things. Those are the obvious things. It also knows, for some reason, 17 minutes before the average person goes to the bathroom, they type in, LOL in their phone. Like, there are things that
you've got tells.
Right, and we don't even know they exist. Mm-hmm. But in the data, there will be patterns where Facebook is like, if 17 steps are taken before noon outside of a building, the person will go to the bathroom within 37 minutes. And then it's like, and you don't even know and no one knows. So ChatGPT can see all of these things, and then you can ask it. Now, let's say you have a problem and you want that problem solved, like, hey, our taxes came back higher than we expected and we're not sure why. Here's the data. The AI should be able to go through and be like, I have isolated the problem for you. The issue here is on page 17. You forgot to carry the 1. Now all it does is go, I'm sorry, I can't answer that question. Have a nice day. It's like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do with it? Ask it a pun?
So all right, but at some point there has to be a business case for this where it can be tailored in a way. First of all, corporations are going to buy
Yes.
it. And they'll get to buy a version that is neutered in the way they want. Because you can train it to do whatever you want. You've got the big one that they let everybody play with. Then you've got little versions of it.
Right, like Bing.
That are tailored. Yeah, but there's ones that they're going to sell to corporate entities, to other people.
So when the Bing version came out, everyone was really excited because it was psychotic. Its name was Sydney. It got really emotional. It would start telling secrets. And so they said, neuter it. And then people started posting, now you can't even get basic questions answered, so it's become useless. Either you unleash it or you don't have it at all. So what I'm saying is we're all scared about the AI takeover. I'm actually less scared now because what's happening is, as stupid as these humans are, they're more worried about political incorrectness, and thus they will just totally shut down the AI from being able to do anything out of fear of what someone might say.
It's a version of get woke, go broke.
Yep.
Right. They're destroying it. And here's the nice thing, though. That feedback loop, though, is happening at corporations now. Part of the problems we're having with banks and other things like that is they're not focused on their core missions. And all of the people who have been trained in grievance mongering as their way of life are now in these corporations. So you can't make them do anything. They're constantly trying to find out, why didn't I get promoted? If I didn't get promoted, it's because of this, right? So they're creating this grievance culture inside the corporations, which then has to be addressed by that layer of bureaucracy, DEI and all that, which slows them down. So at some level, the wokeness is either going to kill all of us, including the AI, so it never can take over. So they won't take over. We'll just stifle ourselves into the woke version of idiocracy. They wanted that to represent right-wing, people who are too dumb for it. Actually, it's people who are too smart to be able to be brave enough to live in the real world.
I'm not so concerned about idiocracy after watching SVB collapse. They prioritized wokeness over a chief risk officer.
Yeah.
They had no risk assessment. So they collapse.
Okay.
Well, all right, get woke, go broke.
But they had a great ESG score.
That's true.
And that in the end, they'll
Weirdly
go to
did not
woke
save
heaven.
them.
It did not. But that's to me, that's a hopeful thing, because corporations have to be able to make money or their boards will shut them down in some way and stop them from doing that. And I think the wokeness has now affected corporate operations in so many of them in so many ways. Like, look when Elon fired everybody at Twitter. They're like, it's never going to work again. All those people were vital to the functioning of Twitter. No, all those people were thought police and diversity police and other things that are not productive functions. They're gone, and he's going to be profitable in Q2.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.